In March 1945, German intelligence faced one urgent question. Where would the American Ninth Army cross the Rhine? Near Viersen. The answer seemed to be arriving in plain sight. Bridge equipment rolled in. Artillery multiplied. Patrols thickened. A traffic control network reported heavy vehicles on the move. Every clue pointed to the 30th and 79th Infantry Divisions. But both divisions had already left. Some of the tanks remaining behind were rubber. Some engine noise came from recordings. The traffic reports were written in advance. About 1,100 specialists were holding the identities of more than 30,000 men. 9th Army's front had 3 corps arranged from north to south, 16th Corps, 13th Corps, and 19th Corps, and each sector would have to tell a different story about the coming crossing. The best crossing ground lay in 16th Corps, so the real assault would go there while the 30th and 79th Divisions moved north to join it. They traveled after dark, then disappeared beneath camouflage and security. That solved only half the problem. 2 missing divisions could expose the attack. Absence could speak as clearly as presence. Operation Viersen, therefore, had to hide a real build-up by constructing a more visible false one. Lieutenant Colonel Merrick Truly conceived and coordinated the 7-day performance. His hardest task was not moving 2 divisions. It was keeping their old identities alive. In 19th Corps, departing artillery left its positions intact and carefully camouflaged, while the 83rd Division slid into the Mars River area the 30th had vacated. Similar tank destroyer emplacements appeared across all 3 corps, and American aircraft reconnoitered 13th Corps at the same scale as 16th Corps. Hospitals pointed the same way. Medical installations pointed toward 13th Corps. 16th Corps showed one forward evacuation hospital. The true sector went dark. The false sector over-explained itself. Truly's unit combined artists, sound technicians, radio operators, and combat engineers. Its 603rd Camouflage Battalion alone had 379 specialists using gas-powered air compressors for the coming deception. At Viersen, each Phantom Division gained nearly 100 extra rubber vehicles. Even 5 liaison planes appeared in each false inventory. 64 rubber 40mm guns and 16 rubber 90mm guns enlarged the anti-aircraft defenses. But the picture was not entirely fake. 2 real infantry battalions joined each Phantom Division. Patrols in 13th Corps ran 50% heavier than at the actual assault front. Real artillery fired, anti-aircraft crews staged demonstrations, and engineers paraded bridge equipment through the sector. The decoys supplied scale. The real troops supplied behavior. The 3,132nd Signal Service Company carried 500-pound speakers on half-tracks and built soundtracks from recorded tanks, troop movement, construction, and bridge building into one moving army. Under favorable conditions, that manufactured activity could travel as far as 15 miles. But range was not enough. Wind direction, terrain, and distance could make the same recording sound near, far, or plainly wrong. A mobile weather station helped the crew shape the performance for the landscape. Signal Company Special had roughly 300 operators, and each real unit's network carried habits that could expose an imitation before a single message was read. Individual Morse operators developed distinctive sending rhythms called fists. Ghost Army radiomen learned to imitate them. To an interceptor, the familiar hand could seem to remain even after the real operator had moved. During Viersen, a spoof 9th Army traffic control net reported large vehicle movements in 13th Corps. Soldiers used counterfeit patches, false vehicle markings, phony headquarters, and carefully staged behavior. Captain George Rebb led the 168 combat engineers who guarded the artists and operators. Across the unit's work, Rebs men also impersonated military police at traffic checkpoints. The equipment was theatrical. The danger was not. Across the Ghost Army's missions, 3 men were killed and dozens were injured. On March 18th, the false 30th and 79th began taking shape around Viersen, while the real divisions assembled in 16th Corps and the false sector grew more visible each day. The cover plan aimed for maximum effect around April 1. On day 6 of the deception, the real Rhine assault began through 16th Corps while Viersen was still running. The phantom buildup continued to point toward a threat that looked later than the attack already underway. From March 18 through 24, the most visible American attack preparation on this stretch of the Rhine was the one designed not to happen. Just before the assault, the 79th Division's intelligence officer captured a German order of battle overlay. It placed the 79th approximately where the Ghost Army had portrayed it. The real 30th Division had vanished from the German picture altogether. The overlay cannot tell us what every German officer believed. It does show that the false arrangement had entered an enemy intelligence map before the attack. 9th Army intelligence reported a more precise German conclusion. The main Allied effort was expected north of Vesoul, with a minor crossing opposite nearby Krefeld. Viersen lay beside Krefeld. The deception had not invented the main blow. It had helped make the secondary threat believable. 9th Army concluded that Operation Viersen materially assisted in deceiving the enemy about the Army's real dispositions and intentions. The 30th Division's intelligence officer reported complete surprise, with a consequent saving of American lives. The record supports no exact lives saved number, and the Ghost Army did not achieve the crossing alone. Real artillery, engineers, aircraft, hospitals, patrols, and infantry helped make those real actions describe an army that was not there. This was not the pre-D-Day deception at Calais. It happened 9 months after Normandy at the Rhine. Viersen was the last of 21 full-scale tactical deceptions completed by the 23rd, but its sharpest memorial was already on the enemy overlay. The 79th sat where rubber vehicles had left it. The real 30th was nowhere on the page.